Hey guys, this is Cody and Josh here at TNR Tackle. We're going to go over some of the 3 basic inshore setups you need to go fishing.
Hey guys, we get a lot of visitors and actually even a lot of residents. They come in and ask what they need for fishing as far as inshore, whether it's pier, bridge, surf. You know, they just want to get in the game, and there's a lot of options. It can be a little confusing and overwhelming. So let's start with this. If we're talking about pier fishing, most piers have like a 3-rod limit, so you're limited to just what they allow you to bring. So you can't go out there with 15, 20 rods, and you know, there's only so much space and so much space for anglers to share. With that being said, I always suggest this for someone starting, or even someone who's been here and wants to add to their arsenal. This is a little 10-pound setup. I always suggest having a light spinner, I'd say 8 to 12 pound range. There's a lot of options on the rod. This is a little custom we have here. Probably a 3,000 or 4,000 size reel will work. If you like to use monofilament on this, I like anywhere between 8 and 12 mono, and probably 15, 20 pound braid is a very good option. If you're comfortable with the braid knots, I do like the braid for the capacity. You can catch big fish on it because of the extra capacity.
And what would this size reel be good for?
This size reel is very versatile. Contrary to popular belief, most fish caught on the piers or inshore are 3 pounds or under. We all want, 10-pound fish, every time we go out, but you're going to get more action if you downsize your presentation. If you, just throw smaller baits, smaller lures, you'll get more action because there's more little fish than big. With that being said, what else were you asking? I'm sorry.
Say that again.
What were you asking?
What would that be good for?
Uses for this depends on the time of year. Basically, it's going to be good for lures up to 3/4 ounce. An ounce would be tops as far as lures. You could throw spoons, jigs, you can free line little pilchards, you can free line a shrimp, you could do a troll right jig head in a shrimp, you could do very light bottom fishing straight up and down, the lightweight, say, a 1/2 ounce weight little fish finder rig or knocker rig. Super versatile. It could also be used for a bait rod. There's a lot of bait around. You need a sabiki rig. You want to catch ballyhoo. It's probably the rod you're going to use the most. It's going to be in your hand most, is the light one. That's what I suggest for like a starter. If you just need to get one to start, I would say get like a rod between 7 and 8 foot, 8 to 12 pound class, somewhere in that range. Either 10 to 8, 10, 12 mono or 20 braid. That would get you started. If you want to throw slightly bigger stuff, we move on to the next class. I suggest something in like a 15, 20 pound spinning class. This is just a sample we have here. It's shiny, it's nice, it casts far. What you want to use this for is basically upsizing your presentation. You want to use a little bit heavier weight if you want to fish it on bottom, if you want to throw larger artificials, jigs, big swim baits, big poppers, heavier spoons when it's windy. This shines. This is going to be for targeting larger fish, making longer casts in open water, or basically maneuvering around when you're fishing on structure.
Now, if they were going to step up in size from your basic size, what size reel would they go with?
Typically, the smaller reels are 3,000 or 4,000. In most manufacturers, well, nowadays it's going to be like a 5 or 6, maybe an 8 in some manufacturers. Basically a 20-ounce reel, something that can hold 300 yards of 20-pound test would be a great choice if we're talking about monofilament. Braid-wise, 30 or 40 pound would work for this. You basically double up the strength, the capacity.
Now let's talk about rod size.
Rod size for your medium heavy, larger spinner for bigger presentations. I like anywhere between 8 and 9 feet. Gives you a little more reach, lets you control the fish straight up and down. It's something that's manageable. 8 if you're going to go on the boat more or split time on the boat. I would lean towards an 8. There's nothing wrong with an 8-foot rod. This is a 9-foot one right here, a little more open water. So yeah, that would be combo number 2. It's kind of a staple. Now you want to throw bigger stuff, this is what you need. Combo number 3, moving on. Okay, so this is a typical bottom rod. In South Florida, 9-foot is very preferable for a lot of reasons. Casting, clearing the bridge abutments, the pier abutments. What's popular are these 24-inch butts. This has been around for a long, long time. The advantage of this is you could put this underneath your armpit, you lean over the railing, and the back end of the rod is kind of trapped underneath your armpit. So, you know, you're not going to lose your rod. The other advantage, which people forget, is that you could split your hands and get a lot of leverage on a long cast. That's the advantage of the long butt. Typically, these are like rated from like 30 to 50 pound range. You could get some that are heavier. In this case, this is a Penn 4.0 wide. It's a new version. It's been out a few years. If you were to back this with braid and top shot it, you could catch, you know, anything other than giant sharks on this. You can catch 95% of the fish on this setup and these 3 setups, less giant sharks. It's a versatile combo. You can free line a bait, swim a bait way out there and see what's way away from the pier, jetty, or beach. You could cast a heavier payload when you need heavier lead and you want to throw a bigger presentation, a bigger chunk. It's a versatile, necessary piece of equipment when you want to complete your set. Anything else?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, so these are just 3 samples we have here. We can set you up with any 3 of these combos or all 3 of these combos in a couple brands with stock rods that have great warranties, or we could actually build you a set of 3 to match. So you have your own color, your own style. Real manufacturers aside, you know, we can make it work for you. You don't have to break the bank with this too. There are economical combos where you can set yourself up with these 3 combos and basically be covered for any situation throughout the year. The techniques change and you can adjust for what's happening. You're not going to be without, you know. There's nothing like trying to throw, you know, a heavy weight on too light of a rod or a small bait on a big rod. It just doesn't work. These are all tools and nothing more. It's just picking the right tool for the job. If you have any questions, call us at the shop, come see us. We could show you some options. You could pick these up, play with them. And
would you recommend them using mono or braid on each of these setups?
Braid has a lot of advantages over monofilament. The capacity, the breaking strength. If you're new to fishing, I always suggest monofilament because the terminal knots are much easier to tie. It's easier for you to rig yourself up and retie in the dark or retie on a moving boat with monofilament. Monofilaments worked for many years, so it definitely has its purposes. Braid is great. It's not the answer to everything, but it definitely can be used.
Okay, guys, that's it.
All right, give us a shout, TNR Tackle. If you email or text us, we'll reply as soon as we can. Have a great day.